study psychology in school. I've always been very interested in mental health, behavioral health.
Born and raised Rockfordian. So really been here all my life.
Let's do that. I got to tell you, Tom, there is a very specific temperature for a toilet seat. If it's hot or if it's cold, it's very uncomfortable for different reasons. I'm Greg. He's Tom. Neither one of us sitting on a toilet seat currently, but this is your In Crowd 815 podcast for the last day of May, the year 2026, the latest it has ever been, my friend.
In the history of mankind, yeah, a warm toilet seat usually means somebody just peed on it. So it's pretty disgusting. My two little grandsons, they're 10 and they're 8. I love them to death, Dominic and Benjamin. They frequently miss, and they don't understand. Do like dad, not like sis. Lift the lid before you go to the bathroom. I cleaned that one up a little bit, but anyway, yeah. So
that's good. I haven't heard that one before. I like that. That's good. That's good. Well, we have a very non-potty related show for you and the person still sleeping next to you. So we're glad to have you join us here on the In Crowd 815 podcast. Maybe wake them up and say Greg and Tom are talking. Time to see what's going on in the 815. My goodness, we have so many guests. We're going to meet 5 people today, and we're going to see if we can do that before noon. So let's see how this all goes as we record this at 8 a.m. May the 30th. We're going to be learning about Make-A-Wish Foundation, Make-A-Wish Illinois. You've heard about them before. What do they actually do, though, and how can you help? We'll learn about that from Janet and Jenny Oh My. We're also going to meet Dee and Nitro. I'm right here in the 815 talking about Jeremiah development. Who is Jeremiah and why does he need to be developed? We're going to learn about that as well. So, yeah. Where's my laugh track? We got we got some business to take care of first. Let's do this. Current race to 10. Look at that, neck and neck. It's a score of 8-7 right now.
I've had a little bit of a renaissance here, a little bit of a comeback.
You're coming back. 2.8 billion is the big number of the week this week. And is the answer Netflix or nerds? Put your guess in the comments and let us know. Maybe tell us a little story about why you think it's that number. Hey, do a Google or an AI search. I don't care. Just throw it out there. See if you can find a story from the last week or so that has the number 2.8 billion associated with it. And maybe you'll win a t-shirt. Maybe you'll win a hat. Maybe you'll win lunch with the goofy hosts of a podcast. It could all happen for you. Dreams do come true. 2.8 billion. Is it Netflix or is it nerds? Tom's giving me his guess.
You think anybody's really dreaming? You think anybody's really dreaming about having lunch with us?
Do I need to answer that question?
No, you don't. Hey, we're here. We're here for the taking. If you want to have lunch with us, let us know. Just bring your wallet. That's all we ask.
InCrowd815.com. Check out That's right. Okay. Check out InCrowd815.com. We got some fun new stuff there, including some great merch. Look at us. We're both wearing different t-shirts today. I'm wearing the first edition of the InCrowd815 t-shirt. You're wearing the latest edition.
Yeah.
And
you're wearing my hand-me-down. After it shrunk, I gave it to you.
It's still nice and clean and white, though. I'm very happy. It's very, very beautiful. Thanks to Fresh Printz of Loves Park, which, by the way, shout out to start the show today. Fresh Printz of Loves Park did an amazing job hosting our InCrowd815 free networking group event this month. We were there Thursday night. They had some great food from Sassy Mac Boys. Oh my gosh, the cheesy mac and the pulled pork barbecue mac, so good. And thanks to Matt Atkinson, Rock Valley Home Inspections, for providing the beverages, and to Safe Families for Children for coming out and explaining what they do to our gathered attendees on Thursday night. Our next host is Jeremiah Development. That's why they're on the show today. So we're going to talk to them about that and what we can expect from that as well. But our first guests today are joining us from the Make-A-Wish, Illinois, and I'm going to put this great big graphic on the screen as I bring them on the screen. Let's see if we can bring on Janet and Jennie from various locations across the area. And come on, technology, don't fail me now. I think we've got them all on the screen. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. So much for joining us today. We are going to go like round robin to introduce everybody. So this is going to be really interesting. Okay. This is going to be really fun. Let's start with Janet. Okay. Janet, the Senior Community Engagement Manager for Make-A-Wish, Illinois. And if I push this button here, I can put Janet on the big screen and say, hey, there we go.
Good morning.
Tell us about Janet Glavin. Are you a native Illinoisan, or did you move here from another state? Where did Janet grow up and go to high school?
I am. I was born in Springfield, Illinois, but I only was there till 1, and I grew up in Peoria, Illinois, where I am today. And I had traveled around the country for a number of different things and lived in the West Coast, East Coast. But I've been back here in Illinois for 35 years.
Okay.
And loving it.
We like to make fun of high school mascots. What was your high school mascot?
My high school mascot, I was Peoria Central High School, so we are the Lions, the Central Lions.
Can we make fun of the Lions, Tom? I don't know if we can make fun of the Lions, Tom. Yeah.
I don't know. They're big and mean. I don't want to mess with them.
The Lions are scary. Yeah, they're scary enough. So, and then Jennie Schmit is also joining us today. Where are you from, Jennie Schmit? Oh, hold on a second. That's me. That's not you. That's me. That's not you. Give me the button that I need to push. There we go. Go ahead now, Jennie. Where are you from?
Hi, good morning. I'm from Loves Park.
You're a Loves Park person.
Yes.
Awesome. Did you grow up here?
So I did. I was here till 5th grade. We moved up to Illinois, so out the country, and then we migrated to Loves Park. So
gotcha.
Yeah, we're here.
It's a beautiful place to live. Absolutely, right?
For sure.
Awesome. So Winnebago. Did you graduate from Winnebago High School then?
I did. We were the Indians.
You are the Indians. Go Indians.
Yep.
Winnebago High School. Awesome. And then we have Jennie Redington joining us as well. I think she's in Rockford, but I don't know. I don't remember if you grew up in Rockford. Jennie, where'd you grow up?
I am born and raised Rockford area. So I live in McChesney Park now. And actually, I didn't realize about this with me and Jennie Schmit that I was a Pecatonica Indian. So 4 years of high school. So.
Okay. Some potential rivalry there, some potential collaboration though too, right?
Right.
There we go. Well, for those who are completely in the dark and don't know what Make-A-Wish Foundation is, Janet, tell us, what do you tell people who have no clue, never heard of Make-A-Wish Foundation before? What do you tell them?
Yeah, make a wish. Make a wish. We do one thing. We grant life-changing wishes to children with critical illness in Illinois.
And so when children are given a terminal they have some sort of terminal illness that they're dealing with and are looking to have something positive in their lives injected, do you kind of put that into their lives?
So this is a really important reason that we're talking today.
Yeah.
So we grant wishes to children with critical illness. So
Okay.
it is not only children who are terminally ill, which is super important for your viewers and listeners to understand, and our medical referral sources or parents that are working or have a child with a critical illness. Wishes really are not a nice to have. They can be a game changer for a child with a critical illness, in increasing their compliance with treatment protocols or reducing their hospitalizations or length of stay. Plus, just that power of choice that's given to a child with a diagnosis, a critical illness. So a child needs to be eligible for Make-A-Wish between the ages of 2.5 and referred before their 18th birthday, and their diagnosis is critical illness considered progressive, degenerative, or something that has placed their life in jeopardy at the time of referral. So beyond childhood cancers, there can be any other thing that falls within what is called a subspecialty, whether it's congenital heart, certain congenital heart disorders, or neurological disorders, seizure disorders. There's a very large list of eligible conditions that a child can be eligible for, and those are all found. We're going to talk a lot when we refer people who are interested in learning more. If they go to wish.org Illinois, they can look at all of that information on how to refer a child or who is eligible.
So there is a specific Illinois website I should be going to, and not just wish.org?
Yeah, wish.org Illinois is our homepage, and that has all the latest and greatest of what we're going to talk about today.
All right, let me get that up on the screen here and see if there we go.
You got it.
There we go. All right. So wish.org/Illinois. Let's put that in the chat so it's really easy for people to do a one click and go right to these pages. If you're on Twitch or Rumble, Facebook or YouTube, that should pop up for you automatically. If you're not, that's okay. It'll be in the notes there on Spotify as well. So the impact of wishes is it's really not something you can really calculate it, is it? I mean, when we're dealing with somebody who's going through a challenging situation, and obviously Jennie Schmit's here to talk more about that with her child. It's really hard to put into a spreadsheet what you're doing to help these children live their best life in a challenging situation.
Yes, I mean, the things that families tell us when their child has a chance to have a wish is that sometimes it's the first time as a family when they experience the wish, if they're traveling somewhere, or we'll talk about the different kinds of wishes. But a family, I remember, said it was the first time we all kind of, since the diagnosis, we had a chance to exhale and come together and be a family again around something joyful and playful, which is the experience that is so important for children, but all of us as humans to have. We hear that over and over again, how the wish really gave them it was something bright at a dark and difficult time. And that power of creativity, if we think of it for ourselves, when you're really looking forward to something, what that does to the human spirit is really, really powerful.
Jennie Schmit, who's, I guess, briefly tell us a little bit about your story and your son's wish experience.
Absolutely. So my son was diagnosed with Burkitt's, which is a cancer. He had a stage 3 cancer in his abdomen. So it was definitely taken off guard. He was 11 years old when he was diagnosed. We, as soon as we ended up with his first round of chemo, the very next day where it was placed and stuff. So we were totally caught off guard. It wasn't anything that we were prepared for. He went in with something that was what I would have thought unrelated to a cancer diagnosis, and then about a week later, and probably a million scans later, we ended up finding that he ended up with he had a mass growing in his abdomen, which was causing his issues that he was going through. So that led up to Make-A-Wish from the hospital caseworker. She was the one that presented to us that we had the opportunity. We filled out a form, and they had sent off the information to Make-A-Wish reached out to us, and gave us a lot of information. Like Janet said, there's you don't really know what Make-A-Wish can offer you. Is the terminal is the only illness and or the only diagnosis, but clearly there's a lot more. And even from her today, I learned even more. I didn't know there was so many other the reasons. I obviously focused on the cancer for my child, so that was a huge topic that we talked about. It was amazing. We had volunteers reach out to us from they gave us lots of different ideas for wishes. My son, he's a very reserved child. He doesn't like spend money. I tell him all the time he's gonna be my first millionaire because this child is paying attention over here. But so it took us a little bit to really get him out of the shell of kind of what do you want to do, and what do you want. So he had 2 wishes. The first one didn't come true. However, Jennie did make it right, and he wanted to meet somebody famous, and that wasn't able to happen. However, she brought him a huge cutout of the person that was famous. I mean, that lit up his world. He was super excited. He talked about it for even months, still sitting in his room. So, so that was the first, and then the second was a cure. So something that I would have never thought Make-A-Wish would be able to do for us. I always thought just trips and things like that. So, as we talked to the volunteers and we had lots of conversations, there was a lot of opportunity. It wasn't just limited to a trip. It was, there was a lot of different things. And he ended up going with a camper. So we ended up with a camper. His wish, a camper with a toilet. That was it. He could sleep on the ground if he wanted to, but a camper with a toilet. So
back to that toilet.
We were camping leading up to the cancer diagnosis. We always went camping, and we were first season attendant. We moved on to a pop-up, but the pop-up didn't have a toilet. So he ended up getting his wish. We have now a camper with a toilet. And we do a lot of things. We, as a family, we've traveled around a lot of different campgrounds. But with the opportunity of having a newer camper, we were able to actually settle down, and we migrated to several times. So we now have a seasonal camper out at a campground that we go to so far every weekend, and it's been amazing. It's definitely been a nice experience. Great team, and one will can feel amazing throughout his whole time. So
that's awesome. So he's how is he doing today? I guess you got to ask that. How's he doing today?
He's doing good. He's now 13, so he went through several rounds of chemo. That first 4-6 months, something like that. And he ended up going into complete. And so he is cancer free, still is today. He'll have lots of checkups throughout his life, obviously, being the fact that he had cancer at such a young age. But now he's just a stinky teenage boy at this point. So, yeah.
Welcome to middle school, kid. High school. There you go. Well, that's good to hear. Well, so Jennie Redington, as part of as being a wish maker and doing what you did in this situation, kind of want to tell your side of the story. How did this work out in your end of the end of things of being involved with Make-A-Wish?
Sure. So several years ago, I just found myself just truly blessed that I have 2, now adult children, and that were healthy and active. And so I wanted to, give back, and I found Make-A-Wish. And I've been a volunteer and granting wishes I can't nail down a date. I can't remember exactly when, but about 10 years. And it just, it just makes my heart happy to be able to bring joy to families going through such trauma. And, you know, when I met Jennie and, you know, her kiddo, about cancer, we never talked about cancer, you know,
Yeah.
talked about he walked.
Oh, technology is being fun with us right now. How about that? You are now dancing on the ceiling, Jennie Redington. That's amazing. I don't know why it did that. I can mirror the camera, but I can't flip it upside down. So I don't know why it's even doing that. That's wild. We're having fun with technology, people.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, hopefully Jennie will be back with us and right side up. So, yeah, I'd love to share. Jennie was talking about her experience being a volunteer, and she's been a long time volunteer with us and has granted so many wishes, including David's that Jennie Mom Jennie was talking about. So. Our volunteers, and this is really important for the Rockford community, they are the face of Make-A-Wish often to the children that we serve. And it's so important in that sense of community and the wish celebrations that our volunteers like Jennie offer, and the building anticipation, which is another powerful impact of the wish, whether it's sending a birthday card or stopping by during a holiday to drop off some toys or goodies, or letting them know about an opportunity. We've got tickets to a game or something that builds anticipation while they're waiting for their wish to happen. And we're really also in our wish discovery process, which involves volunteers largely. We have almost 1,000 volunteers across the state of Illinois. And we work in teams of 2 typically. So in the Rockford area last year, we granted 23 wishes, and I would love, may I share my screen for a minute?
I think so. Go ahead and give it a try. Let me stop sharing this one. And...
Sure. We'll have more fun with technology.
Let's push it to the max. Let's push it to the max.
Let's try all of the bells and whistles that, yeah, for sure. So
there we go.
You're seeing it?
Yeah, it's coming up now.
There we go. Okay, yeah. And I will get rid of this. Yeah. So last year in the Rockford area, and you can see how this is kind of the region, the counties listed there: Stevenson, Winnebago, Boone, Ogle, Lee, Joe Davies, and Carroll. That's kind of how we have grouped as the extended. And I know that's way extended over to the Galena area. But this is kind of an area where we have our local volunteers helping and supporting granting wishes, both discovery and also wish celebrations. And so last year in the Rockford area, we granted 23 wishes. The year before we granted 24. So that's about, we're granting about that many wishes. We have 16 wishes that we've granted just so far this fiscal year. We're going to be granting 5 wishes in the next 6 months, and we have 6 active area wishes at different stages in the journey. So this is so important to kind of look at the picture across the state, because right now in Rockford, we actually, in order to meet that demand, we need 12 more wish celebration volunteers like Jennie. Right now, we don't have enough volunteers in the Rockford area, which means that sometimes we're having to grant them without a volunteer being present, and it really changes the experience. So that's one thing we're really looking for. Your viewers or listeners, if they know someone that would like to be a wish celebration volunteer, we could really use their help. And I'm happy to share anything about becoming a volunteer.
I think I'm not sure if we can hear you or not, Jennie, but I think you're back on. I don't know if you're Jennie Redington.
Can you hear me?
Yep, there you are. The audio's good. The video's not good, but the audio's good, so we can still hear you there. So how long have you been doing wish granting now, Jennie?
About 10 years. About 10
years. Okay. And so I bet you got some stories you could tell without obviously naming any names. What initially prompted you to become a wish maker?
Yeah, so I am blessed, very blessed to have 2 very healthy, now adult children. So I, when they were in high school, when my youngest started high school, I just wanted to kind of honor that. And, obviously I knew there was other families that weren't as blessed. So I wanted to be able to help them in any way I could. And bringing them joy through a wish was a perfect way, I thought, for me to do that. So.
I know probably whenever we ask people to volunteer, one of the first questions that comes up is, what kind of a time commitment are we looking at here? I mean, I definitely want to help, but I have a life. So what else, what kind of a time commitment are people being asked to put into being a wish granter?
Yeah, I can speak to that too. And I know Janet can, but it's a nice thing where, if I'm having a busy month, I don't have to do, anything at that time. But when time opens up for me, I select a new wish. I say, hey, I want to meet a new family. I want to, help bring that joy. And when I do that, like the screen shows, 1 to 2 hours a month, really. It's communicating with the family, trying to bring someone like David out of his shell. That kind of thing. And then just working with the Make-A-Wish staff, working with local people, local connections to see, kind of gifts or boosts that they can bring to a wish. And just trying to, help engage the family and make them, just give them joy, give them little things to think about the wish along the way. So, and it's fun too, right?
And it's not just the wish itself, it's the follow-up as well, right? What happens afterwards.
Right. It's, once a Make-A-Wish family, they're always a Make-A-Wish family. They're part of the family. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, if someone wants to help Janet, but the time is not their treasure right now, they can't really commit time to something like this. Donations obviously can go a long ways as well. What kind of needs are out there for as far as like monetary donations that can help Make-A-Wish?
Yeah, thank you. And that's the other piece in addition to volunteering, which if people are interested in volunteering, as Jenny said, you can go to our website. There's a self-start orientation that you can do yourself. And you can learn more about what it means to be a volunteer. But if you're wanting to help, all of our wishes are made possible purely through individual, business, or community donations through events. And we have a school program that they can learn leadership skills and get involved in raising funds, which ties directly back to sometimes a child in their school has had a wish. And so if they can really feel that impact, we have some wonderful ways to get involved, whether someone does an annual event or you just like beer or wine. We have volunteers or community groups around the state that have a wine for wishes, a walk for wishes, a golf for wishes. You can put for wishes after almost anything that someone likes to do. And we really would invite the Rockford community. We have some corporate partners that we work with from time to time. Often those relationships come about. Someone like Jenny will know someone at a business and say, I'm really involved. This is important to me. Or they'll know a wish family that's part of our alumni program. That can be the starter, but we're really looking for anyone in the Rockford community that would like to either give individually, sponsor an event, have their company get involved. We've had companies also experience the direct impact through this. We have a card making opportunity where we send personal cards to kids that are waiting in their wish journey. And that's something that can kind of introduce a group to Make-A-Wish and what we do. But yes, there's so many ways to become a wish maker. And we would really love to see some more engagement in the Rockford community so that we could grant every eligible wish.
Nice. And who wouldn't want to be a wish maker? I mean, come on, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Sign up to be WISHMAKER. Well, wish.org/Illinois. Again, we got the link there in the chat, so you can see exactly. Go right directly to the website. Before we transition and go into some trivia with Tom here, is there anything that we did not ask you about today that you wanted to make sure that we promote before we let you go?
Yes, I mean, I think that there's so many different ways to become a wishmaker. I think if anyone listening today, what we've covered is understanding the eligibility, that it's not just for terminally ill children, it's for children with critical illness. And parents or family members that are close with, familiar with the child's condition can refer, or their medical team can refer. So we want to make sure we're not missing any eligible children. It's purely based on eligibility. It's not based on income or other factors. And the timing of the referral is really important as well. So, and it's also meant to align with that child's journey with their illness to really uplift them. So we invite the Rockford community to continue to be involved in making wishes for another 40 years. We've granted 19,000 wishes in Illinois alone in the past 40 years. And we are working on getting to grant at least 1,000 wishes a year. This last year we granted 709. And to do that, we need community support from the entire state and from the Rockford area, from the 815.
I'm looking at the website here that says we rely on the expertise of the pediatricians and pediatric specialists who are part of the National Medical Advisory Council and more than 200 chapter-specific medical advisors that help guide us with eligibility and wish safety precautions. Obviously, the safety of the child is utmost priority. So sometimes their wishes are probably a little too crazy to fulfill.
Well, you know, I'm glad that you asked if there's anything else we wanted to share and what children wish for. There is such a variety of wishes. And, you know, people ask me, like, what's the most unusual wish or crazy wish? And I like to say we had a child that wanted to go to Mars and meet an alien.
There we go.
And so we worked with, and Make-A-Wish and the volunteers worked with an air hangar, and they created a pretend rocket and a virtual reality experience, and created put a little spacesuit for the child, and they had an experience of flying to Mars in the rocket with the virtual reality and meeting an alien. So, you know, it's the power of the imagination.
Right. That's right.
Is key. And then the community coming together in such creative ways to make things happen. So that's the power of a wish.
That's how it's done. That's how it's done. Nicely done. Well, really appreciate you jumping on with us today to fill us in on what Make-A-Wish is and what it isn't, and how people can help out by volunteering or donating. Again, wish.org/Illinois. The link is in the chat right there. So go ahead and take advantage of that and learn more about Make-A-Wish Illinois. And let's see if this works today, Tom. I think it will. I got something new for you. Here we go.
It's time for Tom's Trivia Challenge on the In Crowd 815 podcast. Good luck.
How many faces can we put on the screen at one time? Okay. And, are you making noise?
So even counting Snoopy. What's that?
There we go. I'm trying to find
Snoopy.
out.
He just got back. He just got back from Mars.
Okay. There we go. Okay. If you can help us out with the answer to Tom's trivia, raise your hand, all right? Because we need some help.
I got the answer. I'll give it to you in about 10. Where's Jennie? She's still hanging upside down. Her head's got to be hurt by now.
We still got Jennie Redington's voice on the stream, and I'll click around here in a second. But yeah, we're all here.
All right.
What do you got?
So you guys are ready for? Is there a delay?
Yeah.
There's a bit of a delay, isn't there? I don't know why it's doing that. It's when we have a number of guests. That's when it happens most. It doesn't happen when just you and I are talking. But anyway,
we're pushing the limits of
technology.
technology.
You guys ready? Yeah, we are. Maybe if I hang upside down, we can. All right.
We got 7 questions,
go. As
folks.
you all
Let's see
know,
if we
you'll
get
know
4
in
or
a
5
minute.
right.
That's right. And as some of you know, these questions are never terribly difficult. They're not designed to make you feel dumb. They're designed just to make you say, "Hey, that's cool. We did all right." So hopefully you can get at least 5. Greg says 4. I 5. All right, here we go. Question number 1: animals, if you prefer. Which bird the world's largest egg? Is it an emu or an ostrich? Once again, which bird lays the world's largest egg? Is it an emu or an ostrich?
They're both really big, right? Does anyone have any clue which one's bigger?
Jennie Schmit.
I'll say emu.
I was going to say ostrich.
Well, you can fight that one out amongst yourselves.
I say emu.
I'm saying they're both really big, but I don't know which one's bigger. They're both really large. No guess.
All right, we need a tiebreaker here.
Oh, hold on. Let me click on the microphone for D and Nitro over there. What was your guess?
Ostrich. I said an ostrich.
All right.
All right. Well, the O's have it. We're going ostrich, and you would be correct.
The ostrich has bigger eggs than the emu.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
One to one. Here we go.
Yep. All right. So I don't know if we have any Lord of the Rings fans. My daughter got mad at me. I told her I'd watch Lord of the Rings. Sleep within 10 minutes. She was so mad. She was like, "Take your 13-year-old daughter, man." It lasts until she's 17. Anyway, literature. In the novel, The Lord of the Rings were given to the dwarf lords. Was it 3 or was it 7?
7.
Once again, okay. All right. Well, I'm not even going to go any further. Yep. 7 is the correct answer. Very good. Very good. It was 7. Yep. Very good. Very good. All right. Here we go. Movies. We're going back a few years. Audrey Hepburn, one of my favorite actresses of all time, portrayed character Isa Doolittle in what 1964 movie? Was it Dr. Doolittle or My Fair Lady?
My Fair Lady.
I was gonna say
Fair Lady.
That one had trick question written all over it.
Yeah, it did. No fall for the trick question.
Yes, it did.
Nicely done.
All right, here we go. Question number 4. In regard to business, what does LLC stand for? Once again, in regard to
Limited
business, what does
liability
LLC? Wow, you guys.
D's got this one.
There's your 4.
I did.
There's
Right
your
away.
4.
She didn't even let her finish.
I know the guests ahead of time, and sometimes I will gear questions towards the guests, and I did not do that today. It just happened to work out that way. So that's good. All right.
4. Woo!
Actually, I thought probably one of the. I thought this one was probably one of the ones. Could get tripped up on it. What Hollywood actor became the governor of California in
1967?
Once again,
that was wrong.
What Hollywood actor became the governor of California in 1967?
John Travolta.
Any other guy?
That was before Arnold. That was before Arnold
Ronald
Schwarzenegger.
John Travolta. Yes, it was before Arnold. It was Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
Mister, I paid for that microphone.
All right.
Uh-huh.
All right, number 6. That's right. What is the capital of Louisiana? Once again,
it's not New Orleans, right? It's the other one.
Louisiana.
it
I
Shreveport?
don't know. You tell me.
Is it Shreveport or Baton Rouge?
That's what I was going to say. Shreveport.
Shreveport or Baton Rouge?
Baton Rouge. I think it's Baton Rouge.
I was thinking Baton Rouge too, but I have no idea.
It is, in fact,
Jenny
the
Redington?
Red Baton.
Oh,
Baton Rouge.
I remember the episode.
All right.
I remember the episode of the Brady Bunch. Cindy Brady had won something, and she was going to be on TV on a game show. And the question was, "What is the capital of Baton Rouge?" And Cindy Brady is looking into the camera like this. She's just freaked out. She can't answer anything. You know this, Cindy? It's Baton Rouge. That's when I learned it was Baton Rouge. All right, go. You are 6-0. The golden sombrero, or whatever we call it. The
Pressure's
final
on.
local trivia, and this one should be on. The TV show Kate
The Golden
and
Sock
Allie
Monkey.
ran from 1904 to the Golden Sock Monkey. There you go. Ran from 1984 to 1989, and Jane Curtin and Susan St. James, Rockford.
Susan St. James.
Susan St. James.
Yep.
Bingo. 7
Bingo.
out of 7.
Woo!
That's first time. It's only the fourth time. It's the fourth
Yeah.
time that's happened. Wow. I wish I
Way
had
to
some sound
go.
effects, but
Yeah,
there are
no.
people sleeping in my house, so nicely done.
Here we go. Let's throw the confetti.
There you go. Nice.
Hey. Confetti for all of
There
your
you
desks
go.
and microphones.
Oh, you always
all
get it
over
all-
you.
You always get it all over my computer.
Sorry, Snoopy. All right. Well, Janet and Jenny, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for helping us score awesome points on the trivia this week.
Thank you.
Want to keep up with your events here, and we'll look forward to having you back on again in the future. All right.
Thanks so
Thank you.
much.
All right, have a great
Okay.
rest of your weekend. Bye-bye. Right. Switching gears now to Jeremiah Development. Dee and Nitro joining us from somewhere in lovely downtown Rockford.
That's right. At our office, 803 North Church Street.
Down on North Church Street. And for the completely uninitiated, I don't think I can put you on the bigger screen. I might cut you off there. Let's see how this works. If you sit a little closer together, it'll work right just fine. How about
There we
that?
go. All right. All right.
So for someone who's maybe never heard of Jeremiah Development before, how do you describe what it is your organization is and does?
So Jeremiah Development started in 2008. We are located in the Coronado Haskell neighborhood, and that is primarily where we serve. There were 4 churches in the area, although we're not religious based. The 4 churches started Jeremiah Development because they saw a need for the community to help the residents. So, you know, we like to strengthen neighborhoods and improve the quality life for the residents. We go out into the community. We ask questions about, you know, what their needs are. We started by rehabbing properties in the area. And we actually gave a couple properties away. We rehabbed them and had some very deserving people that were gifted those homes. And then we kind of changed direction and just started holding, we concentrate on health and wellness for the community, and we are a connector. So we connect people to different organizations, give them the connection to the resources that can help them in whatever they need. And one of the the things in this area, especially in the west side of Rockford, is we are a food desert.
That's right. That's the challenge.
And,
It's a big challenge right now.
Yeah. So we're in our 16th year of having a community garden.
Okay.
It is one of the only handicap accessible gardens in the area. We have 32 raised beds, and it's literally hundreds and hundreds of pounds of food that is given away. Anybody, whether you live in the neighborhood or not, is welcome to take from the garden. They technically they call it a pilfering garden because you you pilfer from it. But you know, we have a garden committee that plants it, that takes care of it throughout the summer, and puts it to bed in the fall. So, and we've had a couple organizations that have contacted us to say, okay, how did you do that? You know, give us the scoop on it. So it's nice that there are other gardens that are, you know, going to be planted around the Rockford area, and you know, based on our garden. So the other big thing that Jeremiah Development does is we host an annual health and wellness event. It's called Love Rockford. This is our 9th year, I think, in doing it. And this is the person who heads it. It's all about her. So Nitro, talk about Love Rockford.
Yes, thank you. And Love Rockford, I've been in Jeremiah since 2021, and that's when I took on Love Rockford. It's the second Saturday of every July, and there's going to be plenty of vendors. We're going to have like 25 vendors there so far, still in counting. They're going to be food, giveaways. We're going to have free haircuts. We're going to have all different types of resources. We're going to have blood pressure check, glucose checks. We also going to have like live music where people can get down at Nitro style, you know, bring that energy. Here, we serve like over 150 attendees in the community down here, and we had a good time. We gave out wagons, collapsible wagons. We gave them out, and it was really, really nice. People was up and down the street that had their wagons, and it was just a nice sight to see. I enjoyed doing Love Rockford. Love Rockford has really, really made me feel really good because I love to see the smiles on the people's faces, you know, just having a good time, just knowing that, you know, we have that open arm and we care about Coronado Haskell, like, you know, their family, and we want people to feel belong. So with this event, we have so many resources that will help build better families. So I love it. I'll continue on to do it forever and ever and ever. But yeah, I just love it.
And it's coming up here, so there's still room for vendors to plug in and be a part?
Sure, yes it is. And then the event is July the 11th, and the time is going to be from 10 to 1. And so July the 11th is going to be at 803 North Church Street, and it's going to be like a block party. So yeah, we're going to have the whole street blocked off, Fisher Street from Church Street to Main Street. So, you know, let's bring it on, and, you know, let's have some fun.
Good deal. Well, we kind of jumped ahead. I normally like to ask people where they're from and where they grew up and stuff like that before we get into their organization. So let's take a step back. Tell us, are you a native Rockfordian, or did you grow up somewhere else and move here?
Well, I was born in Chicago. I moved here in 2009 because my mom had got sick, and so I had to stay with her and help my dad take care of my mom. And so from that point on, I love it in Rockford. You know, I love the area, I love the people. I just put me an egg right here in Rockford, and that was it.
Well, mom and dad needing some assistance brought you to Rockford from Chicago.
Yeah. So I love it.
Okay, all right. And then Dee, remind us again, are you a native Rockfordian, or did you move here from somewhere else?
Yeah, I am not. I grew up in Wheeling and in Glendale Heights, so I'm still in Illinois, but I didn't move out this far west until I met my husband, and he lived in Dixon at the time, and I lived in Carroll Stream, and we connected, and so I moved west to Dixon, and we slowly moved north and until we got in this area. And I really love living out here. I had some out of town family that came to visit over the weekend, and they were just. I live in the Roscoe area. So, and they are one of my relatives was from Scottsdale, and one lives in Chicago, and they just they couldn't believe the peace and quiet in the area. So, and the wildlife.
Yeah.
The nightlife, we got that here too. It's all here too.
Yeah.
Well, nice. So, Jeremiah Developments. Jeremiah, we got the Facebook page up right now, but we also have the website going on here too, jeremiahdevelopment.org. If someone wants to support what you're doing in the neighborhood, they don't necessarily have to live in the neighborhood. Like you said, you're up in Roscoe yourself.
Right.
So plug on in. Is there a map on here somewhere that kind of says where the kind of the borders of the region,
since we concentrate mainly on the Coronado Haskell neighborhood, we're Whitman on the north, State Street on the south, the river on the east, and Kilbourne on the west. That's the Coronado Haskell area that we mainly serve. And within that are now the four churches, two of the churches combined. It was Second Congregational and First Presbyterian. So they're now Second First Church, Emmanuel Episcopal, and Court Street Methodist Church. So those are the founding members. And we, we have a great board. When we hold events, all of our board members roll up their sleeves, and they help with the different events that we have throughout the year. It's not only Love Rockford. We usually do a couple events in the fall and winter, and have meals for the people in the area. Especially around Thanksgiving and Christmas, and make sure that they got enough to eat and that they can bring things home. As Nitro said last year for Love Rockford, we gave away the collapsible wagons, and I can tell you, driving around the neighborhood, running errands and stuff, and you see people walking with those, utilizing those wagons. And because we have a lot of homeless in this area, there's a lot of low income residents. So, it just feels good to be able to see that what we're doing is impacting them in a positive way.
Yeah. I'm on your programming page here, the different things you've done here, the movies in the park and game days, the libraries that you got around the neighborhoods.
So we at our location, we have a computer center for any of the residents or anybody actually to come in and use the computer. A lot of them will schedule doctor's appointments or check their medical records, check their emails, pay bills. things like that. If they don't have internet at home, they're welcome to come and use the computers here. I think we have 6 computers. We have a small library that we have for there's a lot of children's books in there, but there are books for adults as well. And it's you take the book, you don't have to return it. It's we get people that donate books to us all the time. So we have that. We also have sharing with in our space. We have Carpenter's Place here, a small satellite office, and Blackhawk NeighborWorks region, or Blackhawk region NeighborWorks. They're a HUD counseling agency, and we are their Illinois location. So there's housing counseling here in our building. I am a certified HUD counselor myself, but they also have a HUD counselor here on staff. And, it's really nice for people to be able to, they can walk in because that HUD counselor's here, they can schedule an appointment, and they hold classes once a month for home buying education. We have our hands in a few different pots, but we are looking to see what the people want and what's needed. And actually, today is my last day as executive director, and Nitro is our interim executive director. So she has been our community outreach specialist and has done a fantastic job. And the direction that Jeremiah is going, she is the person to lead us. So I'm excited that she's going to be taking over.
I am too. I am too. It's sad though that Dee is leaving us, but I know she's here every day, all the time. She's my right hand girl.
So, and I will still be on the executive board of Jeremiah. I've been part of Jeremiah. I think it's going on 11 years now. So, and I lived in the neighborhood for 4 years. And saw what the necessity was, and that's why I joined Jeremiah Development to begin with.
Nice. Well, you got a good thing going there, and I know you want to keep it going. Being rooted there in the neighborhood. I always I try to ask AI for some 3 good questions to ask guests every week, and this week I asked AI for questions to ask for Jeremiah Development leaders. And I think we might have answered these already, but let's see how we did. All right, 3 high impact questions for the directors of Jeremiah Development. The first one says, Jeremiah Development has a beautiful focus on one specific historic footprint, the Coronado Haskell neighborhood. When you're hyper-focused on a targeted area, you see the direct human impact of your work every single day. Can you share a story of a specific resident or a family or a property where you've watched a true upgrade, a true improvement or neighborhood transformation happen right from the ground up? Well, obviously, if you don't want to name names, you don't need to do that. But is there a specific thing that's happened maybe recently that you're like, this is why we exist?
It wasn't recent, but I'm going to go back to when Jeremiah Development had started and we were rehabbing the homes. And I got to know the person who was gifted the home. And she became at one point the neighborhood association president. And she got very involved in everything that was Coronado Haskell, and she was part of Jeremiah Development, volunteering and stuff. And that was just wonderful to see. She was so grateful, with what she was given, and she wanted to give back.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, she has since passed away, but it was wonderful.
She lived those last years of purpose.
Yeah.
She did, and it was really, it was great to get to know her on a very personal level.
Nice. And that's what it's all about. Now, the second question has to do with Love Rockford. One of your signature initiatives, the Love Rockford event, essentially creates a one-stop shop for everything from healthcare screenings and fresh produce and haircuts and bike repairs. You've spoken before about eliminating barriers for underserved populations who find it tough to navigate our dense social service network. Oh, Lord, don't get us started there, right? They're here to help us in Winnebago County. A lot of us need help navigating through it. What has the Love Rockford event taught you about Rockford residents, what they actually need most, and how that can the broader community can better collaborate and bridge those gaps every day here in Rockford?
I learned from Love Rockford that the people have big hearts. And when they know they have the resources out, they come out with smiley faces and they know Love Rockford. We have return attendees because every family needs that support. And I just know when they come back, it's because they feel like we're supporting them in some type of way to help them go on that long path of confusion, And so just to see the smiles on their faces and know, they can come here on Love Rockford to have a nice meal, to have some fun, to feel belong. So I think we hit that mark where making families feel belong. They're important. And we just have the resources and, the love that we, give to them, and they just love it. So just returning attendees are beautiful.
I think the thing that jumps out on me with this whole part is the fact that you're doing haircuts and bicycle repairs, and someone might look at that and go, "Why are you doing that?" That's the need.
That's the need. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some people want to look good and ride their bike at the same time, right?
That's it. A lot of the neighborhood, they don't have cars. Yeah. They don't drive, but they do have bicycles. So, we have tried to have somebody here every year that we've had Love Rockford for that bike repair. Mm-hmm. So, and the haircuts, a lot of times people can't afford to get haircuts. So there's usually a line. Mm-hmm. So, and those are done indoors. We do the haircuts inside.
Well, those who can tip your hairstylist generously, especially the ones that donate their time for Love Rockford.
Yeah.
They're doing a good thing, and it's a much needed thing. So take care of them. Take care of them a lot. This third question might be a little bit broad, but it's going to cover a lot. Jeremiah Development, of course, built on a unique foundation: collaboration between local downtown churches, residents, neighborhood businesses. In today's economic climate, building a sustainable, safe, and quality housing situation while fostering community is a really big puzzle. As you look forward to the future of the Coronado-Haskell area, what does the next level of strategic partnership look like to scale this neighborhood's growth, and how can local leaders best support that vision? This kind of gets right down to the grassroots of why you exist right there.
Yeah. So our local representative is Tamir Bell. Yeah. And he is working on a pilot program because we're a food desert of having mobile grocery stores for the area. He's working on that, and Jeremiah is hoping at some point to be a part of that. And we've talked to a couple other agencies about being a local drop-off for food, non-perishable food, so that we can get that out to the neighborhood. So, you know, we only have one small grocery store really in our area, and then our community garden. But, you know, during the winter, there's no community garden, obviously. So there's no fresh produce and things like that. So we want to be part of, not expanding, but decreasing the food desert in this area. And another thing that Jeremiah has done in the past is there are some blighted properties. So we've had teams of volunteers go through cleanup properties, get rid of garbage, make sure that everybody's got outdoor lighting so that, you know, the neighborhood is lit up and it's so that you feel safe to walk through it. And so we are hoping to get out in the neighborhood. Again, Love Rockford actually helps us in finding out what the neighborhood needs at this point. And then we take it from there.
Awesome. Before I get to our odd or funny question that AI gave me, I want to make sure we bring up one more thing here, and that would be, let me copy this link, the page for, you're hosting our next In-Crowd 815 networking group event, which is coming up at the end of June. As everybody knows, the last Thursday of the month, January through October, we have our In-Crowd 815 free networking group events, and this next one, June 25th, will be at Jeremiah Developments. Without giving maybe too much away, what can you tell us about our event coming up in June that we'll want to get people to want to come out and meet you and see what's going on?
Well, we're very excited that we're going to be hosting, because we have only been in this location. It's over a year, and our location is a beautiful Victorian home that was turned into office space. So we're excited to showcase, you know, everything that is in the interior and the exterior of the building, and just talk to people about our future plans.
Awesome. Well, come on out and join us June 25th, 5:30 to 7:30. If you know Dee, you know there's going to be some good food involved with this meeting. So you'll not leave hungry.
That's true. You know, I like to cook.
So it'll definitely be worth the effort to come out and see what's going on at Jeremiah Development for our event coming up June 25th. Now, the odd or funny question that AI gave me was regarding the Love Rockford after party. Okay, so your Love Rockford event, a massive logistical feat. There's a lot of pieces and stuff. So bringing together healthcare and haircuts and bicycle repairs all under one roof. If you could add one absolutely wild, completely non-traditional vendor to this next event, just for the pure joy of the neighborhood, what would you bring in? Would it be something like a professional llama petting booth or a 24-hour nacho fountain? What would you bring?
I would bring in myself, being in the 70s, I was Disco D. I would bring in silent disco.
Silent disco. They're here in town.
I know they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
I experienced that on a vacation I was on several years ago, and that was a ball. And I didn't realize that there were different channels. They had 3 different channels. So, and I was on the vacation with my mom, my sister, and my husband. And my mom, my sister, and I were, you know, dancing to We Are Family. And here comes my husband doing YMCA. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, there's another channel.
family. And he's like, no, it's not. It's YMCA. And so that's when I realized there were different channels, but it was a lot of fun.
Know that. I didn't know they did that. I haven't experienced one of those yet. So that's interesting. All right. So you gotta find out if your group wants to be on the same song.
That's it. Right. Yeah. Different colors. It was different channels. It was all disco, obviously, but yeah, different songs. So it was fun.
I want to say 815 Silent Disco just started following us recently here at the In Crowd 815 podcast. So maybe there's a connection there, Dee.
Okay.
Maybe there's a connection. I don't know that I've met the people that run that yet, though. That would be amazing.
I did. So,
okay.
And I've talked to her. Yeah. So I had thought that would be a really great fundraising event.
In case people are wondering if we're just talking goofiness here, there it is. There's their Facebook page. It is a real thing. 815 Silent Disco.
Yep.
And I've seen these. I've never participated in one yet. They basically give you headphones. So instead of blaring speakers all over the place and making lots of noise, you're just listening on your headphones. And that's why they call it a silent disco. It's only happening for you.
You know what's really funny? You watch people doing silent disco, and they're dancing, and you look at them like, "What in the world?" If you don't know what they're doing, it is hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when you find out if you're on the same channel or not. I guess if someone's doing YMCA and you're not listening to YMCA, something's going on there.
Family doesn't work that way.
That's right. Yeah, but I mean, we are going to have a DJ who's going to be playing fantastic music at Love Rockford, and I will tell you that most of the volunteers and the people attending, you will see them dancing at the event. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, with that Nitro energy.
Why do I have no doubts about that at all?
Right.
No doubts about it at all. Well, is there anything we did not ask you about today that you wanted to make sure we put out there before we let you go about your weekend?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we really appreciate you having us on, and that, you know, we were able to talk about our big event because it's near and dear to us. So Love Rockford, July 11th, here at our location at 803 North Church Street.
If you want to be a vendor, I think most recently that I recall, maybe even more since then, but at one of our networking events, I believe you connected with Marshmallows Hope, and they were going to try to get a table out there for Marshmallows Hope. So there's all the different opportunities for people to get out there and be a part of the neighborhood. So come on out and be a part.
All right. So I have a quick question. Another one. Disco D, I love that nickname. Nitro, you're not getting out of here without your nickname.
That's my real name. My nickname is Nikki. Yeah.
You don't have like a flash?
No, I don't have like a flash name. Nitro says it all.
It really does. You know what? That sounds like a hip hop DJ group, Nitro and Disco D, or Disco D and Nitro.
I know, right? Yeah, that's why I love it so much. So.
I will tell you, Tom, though, I do have another nickname, and I've been part of the mortgage industry since 1999, and I actually am a loan officer. Greg knows my nickname.
Everyone knows the honey with the money.
That's what I am.
Right,
I'm the honey with the money. Yes.
Oh, the honey with the money. Wow.
That's right.
A client told me that back in 1999, lenders would bring physical checks to the title companies for the closings, and I walked in with the check, and the closer was like, "Oh, thank God you're here with the money." And my client looked at me and said, "You're the honey with the money," and I said, "I am using that," and I have been using it ever since.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's my tagline.
And she's still making people smile today with that. Knowing they got the loan cleared.
All right, so check this out. Disco D, the honey with the money. That has got 70s written all over it. Does
It sure does. That's for sure.
That gives Shaft. That gives Shaft a
And
run.
I got
for his
bell
money.
bottoms. You know, they're back in style, so
That's right.
I have quite a few pairs of bell bottoms.
Bring back the bell bottoms. I'm a fan. That's fine by me.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we wish you the best with your event. I hope you have a great turnout, and let's all pray, Lord, help us have a great weather day, please.
I know.
Oh yes, because we had to
yeah.
reschedule last year. So
Yeah.
But if it does rain, we do have a rain date will be in August the 15th.
So hopefully we won't need that.
Don't say that date.
Don't say that date. Okay, I'm not good.
July 11th. July 11th.
There you go.
July 11th is going to be a great day. 1 week after the 4th of July fun stuff in Rockford. You're going to be back downtown Rockford again to help out Jeremiah Development and Love Rockford event. So you ladies have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We'll hope to see you out there at the big event. And of course, we'll see you at the In Crowd 815 event at the end of June.
Hey, all right.
Thank you. You guys have a great weekend.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was awesome. Back to our big number of the week this week, which Snoopy says, I know the answer. 2.8 billion is the big number. And is the answer something to do with Netflix or nerds? You sent me your guess, and I have to look here real quick to see who gets the point. Okay, let's take that off. So there we go. Do you know who the Ferro Group is? If I say Ferro Group, do you know what the Ferrero? Does that give you a hint?
Oh, Ferrero, the chocolates.
Ferrero, you're right. I'm saying it wrong.
Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrero Rocher. Ferrero and Netflix are partnering up for something, Tom. And I know you're hoping what it is. They're reviving the Wonka candy brand. Of course, Willy Wonka, the Wonka thing was fictional, right? But then they made it real as far as the candy brand goes. Originally, when Wonka brand launched, it was a Quaker Oats company back in 1971. Okay. They came up with the Wonka stuff ahead of the release of the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Well, Ferrero acquired the brand from Nestle. They now have a deal with Netflix to debut a new Wonkaverse animated film and a TV reality series. Now, the reality series looks kind of interesting. The film, I'm not so sure about. But when Ferrero bought the Wonka brand from Nestle in 2018, they paid $2.8 billion for the brand. It's not nerds. I'm sorry, Tom, you're not getting the point this week. Netflix has acquired the Roald Dahl story, ROALD, Roald Dahl story.
You'd be surprised how many people say Ronald Dahl. It drives me nuts.
Yeah,
there's no N in
there's
there.
No L. No N. ROALD, Roald Dahl story. They accompanied the story. They acquired the story rights in 2021. They're expanding the on-screen Wonka universe with a reality TV series called The Golden Ticket, where contestants will navigate in a retro futuristic fantasy factory, relying on strategy and social dynamics to survive wild physical and mental challenges. And that sounds pretty cool. I think that's got a chance. The movie, however, is slated to come out in 2027, an animated film called Charlie versus the Chocolate Factory. Yes, versus. But it's not what you think. Charlie versus the Chocolate Factory follows a recently imprisoned Willy Wonka who's released after years behind bars for turning a child into a blueberry.
God.
The story the way it's being described, it does not take. It's not the turn that you were kind of expecting what the next story from Willy Wonka might be. So I had to see it to believe it that it's going to be any good.
Are the characters the same? Would that be Violet Beauregard? Because that's who the Blueberry Girl was.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be animated, so there's that.
Yeah.
But okay, so after Charlie inherits the chocolate factory, Willy Wonka goes to prison. So they send him to jail because of turning Violet Beauregard into a blueberry. There was a lot of terrible things that happened in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. If you've never seen it before, it's funny, but at the same time, when you think about it, it's like, wait a minute, did that kid just die?
Yeah.
To the TV kid, they shrunk him down to almost nothing.
Mike TV.
Mike TV. It's a weird movie. It's just a weird movie.
Well, it was okay, but if you go back to the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Gene Wilder,
yes,
Jack Albertson. Okay, that movie was weird, yes, but not in a depressing way. It was just weird and odd. I mean, there in the bubbly thing going all the way up to the top, and they touch and come back down, contaminating it. Chocolate River, which I'm like, oh my God, sign me up. I want to swim. I want to live in the Chocolate River. If I'm going to drown, I'll drown in the Chocolate River. Anyway, so that movie was fine. And then Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Mr. Weirdo himself, Johnny Depp, who I think is one of the greatest.
Johnny Depp, yeah.
Right? He's so versatile, but he's weird. He's weird in every one of his.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was a weird movie. And some of the subsequent things they've done are weird. They have taken Roald Dahl's innocent story and made it something, I don't know, weird and different and
yeah, just too strange. So anyway, that's coming up. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the reality series game show type thing. That looks pretty interesting and fun. But the animated movie, at least the storyline, the way they're describing it, I'm like, I don't know about this. The Nerds story that I saw this week that caught my attention. Not all careers fare the same when it comes to marriage, according to data from the American Community Survey. But this is just a survey, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. Bus drivers, bartenders, and massage therapists have the highest divorce rates in the United States. Approximately 48% of those careers, when they get married, that ends in divorce. However, actuaries, math nerds like CPAs and such, they're most likely to stay hitched. The divorce rate for those in the math careers, only 14%. That's pretty amazing. So basically what they think they're saying is if your plan is to have a long lasting marriage, marry a nerd. That's
marry an accountant or something, or a banker. All right, so I will disagree with that only in this. Police officers, firemen, because of the high stress nature, that has always been the highest rate of divorce. So I don't know what's going on with that.
It's right there.
I mean,
I bet it's in the category right below those, but they list bus drivers, bartenders, and massage therapists as having the highest divorce rates.
I get bartenders because they got, they're bartenders, they got men hanging around, women hanging around. They're always in that thing, and they're drunk, and their customers are drunk, and it's easy to just
make bad choices,
stray away, and whatever. So make bad choices, exactly. So.
Let's see. Yeah. American Community Survey is an ongoing demographic survey conducted by the U.S. Census Bureau, provides up-to-date social, economic, housing, and demographic data every year. It replaced the traditional census long-form surveys. Roughly 3.5 million addresses annually is what they use to do their surveys. So that's a lot of potential responses to their surveys, but who has the time for that? That's always the question. We've got the time for those surveys. The people that do and reply, that's the data you're going to get. So anywho, I did my shout outs already, but I'll do a kind of a follow-up again. want to give shout out to our local AmSpirit networking groups that meet. I got to visit 2 of the 3 or 4 main ones here in the Northern Illinois area this past Thursday. We have the Rockford Premier Networkers chapter of AmSpirit Business Connections. They meet every Thursday morning at 9:30 at the Veterans Memorial Hall. And kudos to Veterans Memorial Hall for giving them free space to meet every week and do what they do. And then the AmSpirit Partners in Success, they meet at the Machine Shed every Thursday for lunch. And they also have a really great group there. They were formerly a BNI group before they switched over to the AmSpirit platform there. So if you're looking to connect and network, these groups, these AmSpirit groups, they are specific as far as for myself as a realtor. If those groups already have a realtor in the group, I can't join because they only have one realtor person in that category in their group.
Tell them you're a trivia guy.
That's how they. Oh, that's right. They always ask me if I will join as a podcast, and I'm like, nah, I'll visit you as the podcast. I'll have you on the show but yeah, that's economically, it doesn't make sense for me to do that. So the referrals I would get from them wouldn't turn into dollars. That's basically what that boils down to, I guess. So anyway, these are great groups to belong to.
You could be a podcaster who does realty stuff. there's always a backdoor workaround there.
Both of those groups that I visited already have really great realtors in them. So I'm like, hey, I like doing business with them. Keep giving them referrals because, I like doing business with them. They do great jobs. But yet they're always looking for people to fill the gaps in other service categories. For speaking of nerds, I think both of them are looking for CPAs right now. So if you're a tax preparer or a bookkeeper and you want to get more clients, you join a group like AmSpirit. And now you have a room full of people that you meet with once a week who are helping to sell you and your services. They become your sales team. And you're encouraged to bring them referrals. They're encouraged to bring you referrals. It's a really great collaboration of businesses and entrepreneurs. So I would encourage people to do that. And then of course, Fresh Printz in Loves Park again for hosting our In-Crowd 815 networking group this month, Thursday night. We had a great time with a lot of great folks. I believe we had about 30 when all was said and done. We had about 30 that came out, maybe a little over 30. Matt Atkinson, Rock Valley Home Inspections, provided the beverages. Saxy Mac Boys provided the food. We had Safe Families for Children out there talking about what they do. So it was a really well-rounded, good event. So soon, very soon, we'll be asking for hosts for the 2027 free In-Crowd 815 networking of group events. So if you have a business that would like to host a group of people to come out, it's like an open house style event. You're basically opening the doors to your office or whatever, and providing hors d'oeuvres of your choice, beverages of your choice. From 5:30 to 6:30, basically the first hour is free form open networking. Just come, have some food, have a beverage, meet some new people, exchange business cards, have a chance to meet and greet some folks. And then at 6:30, we let the host fill us in on what they do and why they do it and who their chosen not-for-profit is. It's a nice, easy format, couple hours a month, gives you a chance to meet some new folks. And we've been doing it since 2008. Thanks to Rebecca and Yolanda, who started the In-Crowd way back then, at the end of 2008. And it's been a joy to keep this going on. So plug into all the events that we got coming up, including the Jeremiah Development event coming up at the end of June, Thursday, June 25th. We're also very close, Tom, to announcing more details of the next Masked Karaoke Trivia Contest, the Medicare 411 grand prize of $8,000 this time on the table for some team to win for their chosen not-for-profit. We'll be looking for 12 teams to fill spots again at Tabala on October 1st, and we'll get more details coming here in the next couple of weeks and get those press releases out. So very excited about doing the masked karaoke trivia contest once again and giving away more money. You know, at the end of the October 1st event, Tom, when we tally up the dollars given out to not-for-profits, we'll have given away over $30,000 to local not-for-profits with this contest so far. So that's pretty cool.
That is really awesome.
That's pretty cool.
It is really awesome.
Next week, we're going to visit with the Knights of Columbus Council 470 and the STATELINE Youth for Christ as well. So those are our two guests next week here on the podcast. And when we do this show next week, it'll be June.
Wow. You know, every year we say the same thing. Where did the summer go? This is what irritates me so much about the summer. Not irritates me, but I mean, you break it down into 4 weeks in June, 4 weeks in July, 4 weeks in August. You can't count May because school's ending. You can't really go on vacation, this and that. So you have 12 weeks. Well, 4th of July takes care of one of those weekends. Birthdays will undoubtedly take care of another weekend. And then, so you're already eliminating 2, probably 3 or 4. You've got about 10 weeks of real good time to make hay. Okay, and then if you take
somebody
vacation,
say this is the longest summer you can possibly have because Memorial Day fell on the earliest it could possibly be, and this year's Labor Day falls on the latest it could possibly be.
Yeah.
So
okay.
106 days of summer this year.
Nice. Okay, nice way to put a positive spin on what I was talking about. But yeah, you're right. You are correct. It's but it breaks it down to like 9 to 10 weeks, and it just doesn't. And then a week goes by, and then another week goes by, and then another week goes by. And now, you know, before I blink, we'll be back here doing this again next week. And like you said, it'll be June. It's like, where did May go? What happened? Speaking of,
right,
that makes for a good transition. We got our golf outing coming up on, I believe it's June 8th. It's that Monday. And I know you're still on board. Matt and I, my son and I are still on board. Ron cannot make it, so we have to find a fourth. Okay. I was going to throw it out there and say, so if one of our faithful viewers wants to join us, contact Greg or myself and let me know. It's a NAMI fundraiser. It's $125 to get in. Meals included. A lot of fun. Shotgun start. It's just an awesome event. So otherwise, if you know anybody, maybe
Mulligans for Mental Health at Forest Hills Country Club.
Yes. Mulligans for Mental Health right there. Forest Hills Country Club.
Here we go.
Yep.
Going to be a good time. Hopefully the weather's great for that too. Obviously, that's one of those weather events. It's like,
do you have anybody in mind that you could invite?
Well, off the top of my head, not necessarily, but
I don't have a lot of golfing buddies. I do have my neighbor across the street who would love to do it, I think. So I could probably get him to fill in, but I thought it'd be kind of nice to put out there. And if somebody decided, hey, I want to play golf with you guys, they could, you know, you got a couple days. I can give my number, or you can give them my number, or whatever.
Well, connect with us here on a comment or whatever through one of our platforms. It should let us know that you've.
If they do connect with you on that, then give them my number. They can call me, and we'll figure it out.
All right. I wanted to one last thing again on our merchant site at incrowd815.com. When you go to the merchant site, there's some pretty cool options with the hats. I'm really liking this white on white hat. Check out the white on white.
Well, that is kind of cool.
How sweet is that? If you want a white on white for the summer, that's the way to go right there. It's also, you know, navy blue or black or royal blue. That's the royal blue one that we've been wearing a lot lately. There's a lot of different options there. So, but anyway, check out incrowd815.com and click on the merch site. And again, thanks to those who bought merchandise at the InCrowd event on Thursday night. That was very nice of you to support us and the podcast that way. So if you can help us that way, that would be wonderful. Shirts, hoodies, polos, the pullovers, quarter zips, Lots of different options on there. And if there's something that you were hoping to find on there that isn't, please let us know. And we'll talk with our partners at Fresh Prints and see if we can get it added to the merch site. Probably won't need any fleeces for a while, but sometimes a summer night gets cool and you need to pull out a hoodie real quick, so have a hoodie ready with your 815 on it. All right. Look at all the different colors that are optional here for the hoodies.
Really nice.
All kinds of different ones on there. So anywho, I think that's going to wrap things up unless you had any last things you want to throw out there.
We can we're doing a little off air, right?
Yeah, we will do that. We'll talk a little bit off air.
Let me throw this on the air.
Okay.
Sort of Packers stuff. This past week, we heard some very, very distressing news about Josh Jacobs, the running back for the Green Bay. Yeah, running back for the Green Bay Packers. Now,
a lot of people jumped to conclusions on that, which was not cool. You gotta slow the roll, people.
Yeah, absolutely. And do not, for 1 second, think that Greg or myself are defending Josh Jacobs in any way, shape, or form. If he was supposedly, allegedly accused of doing, then he should go to jail. Period.
Exactly.
Done with the Green Bay Packers. Done. He raced from against as far as the Packers. But if he didn't, he deserves his day in court. There are always two sides to every story. But that's not why I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up because I just want everybody to understand. Like you said, Greg, slow your roll. Just let this thing play out. And I'll admit, I said, oh my God, he's got to go. He's got to go. And then I thought about it. And I was watching the podcast that I love to watch, Peter Bukowski, Locked on Packers. Our very own Jake Westendorf has been on Locked on Packers many, many times. Known Jake for many, many years. He's a good guy. He's been on Locked on Packers. He's on the Packers Squad show. It's something I watch on a regular basis. And that's how I get all my Packer information. But they were talking. They said they couldn't prove anything. And that doesn't mean, they couldn't prove that OG killed his wife. But we knew he did. Okay. So that doesn't really hold water for me. But if you can't prove anything, then you can't charge him with anything. And I'm not saying, oh my God, please let him be innocent. Please let him. I don't care. One way or the other. No. Because if
truth come out.
He's guilty of anything, I want the truth to come out. That's what I want. And I don't care if he goes to prison for 10 years. I don't want to see it because I don't want anybody to go to prison. I don't want anybody to do anything bad. I just want justice. I want the truth to come out. I go back to the Mike Tyson thing, and please understand, I will never, ever defend abusing a woman, raping a woman, anything like that. I would never, ever defend something like that. But I truly believe there were two sides to the Mike Tyson thing, and I just think that Mike Tyson wasn't really bright enough to really defend himself. He went up to he was in a limo yelling up to the 10th floor, 11th floor for Desiree Washington, and she came down, got in his limo, and they took off. I'm not saying she was looking for it. I'm sure she was not. And he had no right if he did do anything, if he, molested her or whatever. I think it was probably consensual, and then she probably got a money payday because she did win a civil suit on that, I believe. So anyway, that's all I'm saying. Be careful. Don't judge. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't rush to judgment. And again, there was that whole movement a few years ago, the whole believe all women thing, and it's like, wait, hold on a second. It's the Me Too movement or something like that.
Let's be honest here. We've all known somebody who we can't believe. We've all known somebody who's embellishing stories all the time, or it's a drama queen or drama king. Goes both ways.
It does.
It goes both ways. You can't believe everybody all the time. And so,
And the other problem is somebody who is, I'm not defending Mike Tyson, but I'm trying to put validity to his argument that it might have been a little bit different. It may have been both sides, whatever. It doesn't give him the right to take advantage of it. If she says no, it's no. Period. End of discussion. Right. And he should go to prison for that. But I'm not 100% sure they didn't just have a little fun, and then all of a sudden afterwards, the next morning, later that night, changes her mind, says, you know what, I just did whatever with Mike Tyson, I could probably cash in on this. And I don't know, and I'm not ever going to defend anything that of the nature. So back to the Josh Jacobs thing. I just want people to maybe sit back and chill just a little bit and wait for all of the facts to come in. Now, if he did strangle her, and then they said suffocation, probably a pillow or something like that. I don't know. But maybe we'll find that she was coming for him with a screwdriver or something, and he had no. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there because you just never know. And so that's all I wanted to say about that. Now, and I love the way the Packers have handled it. I think they've done a pretty good job. Matt LaFleur, maybe not so much. He kind of chuckles. Well, hey, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And he's kind of chuckling. I don't know if that was nervous laughter because he's caught, kind of caught blindsided with this, didn't expect it. We go at this time. This wasn't on our bingo card.
No, whatever context that was in, who knows what the context was where he was at.
Yeah. Well, I still say Green Bay, even if this thing hadn't happened, go out and get somebody, because Marshawn Lloyd, he's played
as good as he looks. He's played what, maybe 4 games?
I think he's had 10 snaps. I think he's been in 2 games, and he's had like 10 snaps, and he's frail. He's got glass bones and paper organs or something. I don't know.
Which really stinks because he looks so good.
Yeah,
and
well, maybe
he's got.
This is his year. Maybe this, and I tell you what, with that we can do this for another time. Maybe we should schedule kind of a Packer half-hour block when we don't have any guests or something like that, because it's kind of ramping up. We got OTAs going on, and we've got mini camp starting. And the schedule came out. I mean, there's a lot to talk about. So whenever you want to do it, you let me know. I'm full of information, maybe misinformation, but it is information.
Knights of Columbus Council 470 next week, along with State Line Youth for Christ, and should be a good show. So tune in then as well. Remember, you change the world when you help one person. So be a blessing to someone today and every day this week. We'll try to do the same and meet you back here for another In Crowd 815 podcast. Buddy Tom, talk to you off the air.
All righty.
815 in crowd, 815 in crowd, 815 in crowd, 815